Boo.
The
The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. You better go stand by your dad so they
There's
can
apples?
Yeah,
I don't
apples?
think that's an apple tree. I think that's a nut tree. The
So-
nut don't fall too far from the tree.
Yeah, that's
see. So
true.
no, there are not 2 Garys. So we have
Gross.
I can touch my tongue to my nose.
so we have Luke has
Stick out my tongue and touch my eyebrow. Oh, can you now? Yep.
so this is what we get when we get together. So we got Luke over here on the left and Gary on the right. And so Luke is our oldest child.
I'm on my left. Yeah.
I'm on my left. You're on my left, though, goofball. Luke's on my left. Luke
On her left.
and Gary. Now he's got me all confused. Don't confuse a dyslexic. We're already halfway confused anyway.
What was that? Somebody say my name?
They won't be able to hear you very good. 'Cause I got the carrot that turned around. But anyway,
Might be a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Silence is golden.
so tell us what we're doing here, Gary.
We're outstanding in our field. Oh. We're working on a raised bed. I cut a cedar log down and I ripped it in half with my chainsaw. With my bare hand. Oh. I ripped it in half with my chainsaw and then cut it in 4 pieces, or cut the halves in 2 pieces. Is that how that works?
Well, you had one log and got 4 pieces.
Something. But it ended up 4 pieces of wood. And we're gonna see if we've got the stuff to bolt this together to make a raised bed. Cedar doesn't tend to rot as easy as some other woods, so that's why I chose to use cedar. Doesn't have a lot of other good uses other than lumber. That's lumber and posts is kind of cedar's uses. So I cut a cedar down in a place where it was taking up grass in a pasture, and we're going to make a raised bed out of it. Also, they tend to push bugs away, and I'm going to see if that doesn't help with like potato bugs and squash bugs and stuff. I don't know if it will, but I'm wondering. Okay, I've got 4 lag bolts that I took them out of something, off of something, I can't remember. I hold on to stuff like these because they're expensive, so when I pull something apart, hold on to them. And we're gonna use these, and I'm gonna have to go find some more in a minute to put together our raised bed today. Oh, it's frozen. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Just gonna kind of eyeball things here. Oh, that didn't work because there's a broke off nail that I tried to drive in there. that side. We'll get all 4 sides put together, and then if I find some more lags, we'll put another lag in it.
All right, Gary and Luke have the raised bed all put together. Now Gary's lining it with paper and cardboard.
Luke used some rocks.
Luke used some rocks, yeah, cover a hole over there.
That's all I had.
That straw will help a lot, that hay, if you're gonna put it down next.
We are. The hay will be kind of to help hold moisture, and it'll decompose and provide some nutrients too. Chopping his fingers off back there?
No, I'm not. Don't do this at home, kids.
I start out all my how-to videos with "Don't try this at home." I actually did
Don't try this where your parents can see.
Don't do this where your parents can see. That's wise from an older cousin. Wise advice from an older cousin. This bed has been made out of a cedar tree that I ripped into. See it right there, but I've got a layer of, oh, you can't see it. Got a layer of cardboard on the ground, and I've got a layer of old hay. There's old hay right there, and then I cleaned all the bark and wood chips out of the bed of my truck and put that down, and now I'm putting composted hay and cow manure, and there's some dirt in that too, but it's mostly just compost, cow manure and hay, and that's going to make our raised bed. Learning to build what you need out of stuff around you is an important part of homesteading, and this is one of the raised beds I'm building this year out of an old cedar tree, or out of a cedar tree. I cut it down, I ripped it in two with my chainsaw, which takes some doing, and you need a bigger saw to do that, but it's something I do know how to do, and I've done it. So I ripped that in two, and I cut it and made a 4x6 or a 6x8 bed. I think it actually is closer to 5x8 by the time I got done squaring everything up. And we're gonna finish filling that up with manure, and we will see about getting this raised bed done. We are just expanding our growing space this year, and raised beds are a good way to do that. This bed that we have built here is something you can do in a yard in town in a very small space. It's about 6x8 on the outside, somewhere around that, and that, you know, that's not a lot of space, but it ought to grow well. We'll see how it does, and hope you've enjoyed it. We've got a lot of things going on here on the farm. We're just trying to show you guys some of those, and hopefully if you're in a small space, A lot of you say, I don't have a small farm, I don't have acreage, which we don't have a very big acreage, but we have 11 acres. And what can I do in my yard? What can I do in my small space? What can I do? I mean, you can do this in an abandoned city lot or in any space. I have seen this done in some really small spaces, but 6 by 8 is about what it takes to do a bed like this. And this is enough space to grow a few things. You could grow a few tomato plants and a couple of cucumber plants and a little bit of lettuce and onions and some things like that, a few green beans, and have food that you're eating on through the summer. This isn't a canning garden by any means, but it is, for us, it'll just be an addition to a lot of growing space, and it'll probably be just a few early crops in here and then some fall crops in here. But and it may end up being an herb bed. I'm not sure yet. But I've tried to build this as cost effectively as I can, and all it's cost me is fuel and time. And I know fuel's not cheap right now, but it cost me a little bit of fuel and my time. Even the bolts and lag bolts and stuff that I pinned the bed together with were old used lag bolts I took out of something I was taking apart. And the cedar trees needed to be cleared out of a pasture anyways, so that's what we've got. That's what we're doing.